transgender bathroom Democrats. But again, I mean, Mitt went out of his way to tuck it to Donald Trump. But, I guess it's up to Donald Trump. I mean, Mitt said these things about him, not you or I. So if Trump doesn't care, I guess Mitt's okay. I'm not sure Mitt is tough enough. I mean, hasn't that been the problem with Hillary Clinton and John Kerry, that they are just people that can get rolled so easily? I mean, isn't that the lesson of Mitt Romney as governor of Massachusetts and then as the presidential candidate? And even when he was running against Ted Kennedy, he let Ted Kennedy push him around back in '94. He's always one of these guys who backs away in a fight. I mean, this is the Secretary of State. We got a lot of messes to clean up because we've had, in the words of Sebastian Gorka, wussified globalists running the show for the last 8 years. You need a tough guy in there. I'm not sure Mitt is that tough guy on top of everything else. Manny, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Manny.
Hi, Howie. How are you doing?
Good.
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can indeed.
Yeah, how are you doing? Okay. I've been listening to you for 30 years, long time, many times, since Jerry William. And I love your show.
Thank you.
And there are three things, okay? I came here legally for 32 years ago, and I had to wait in line in India for 6 years. And I want Mr. Trump to be very tough on immigration, and also visa fraud. We had to wait for 6 years, legally.
Yeah.
And
I know. I understand. I think legal immigrants and naturalized citizens are harder on this issue than natural-born citizens, Manny.
Exactly. I'm afraid he may go easy on immigration because of these mayors and all that, sanctuary cities and all that.
Yeah.
I'm very afraid. And you should also stop this visa fraud, H-1B, L-1B, B-1 visas, EB-5,
Right.
and tourist visas too. There's a lot of fraud going on there also.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. I'm glad.
And then I agree with you. Mitt Romney is a traitor. Trump should never give him, any position. And Trump is very magnanimous. He's been, invading all his enemies here, all his who are like opposition in the Republican, primaries.
No, but it's different if you're like Rick Perry. Rick Perry is dispatched, and he said some nasty things about Rick Perry, and Rick Perry did about him. But Rick Perry came around early. I mean, Nikki Haley wasn't that nice to him, but he could turn the other cheek there. But I mean, Mitt was leading he was leading a campaign to find a third party candidate against him. I don't know.
Yes,
could you forgive him? I couldn't forgive somebody who did that to me.
Yeah, especially, and he's a wuss too. He's a wuss. Yeah. He's unfit to be maybe a janitor or something, but not a.
Thanks for the call, Manny. Ron, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Ron, on the General Communications listener line. Yes.
I love this bill.
Thanks.
I always thought that Romney had a bit of jealousy because he just couldn't motivate people like Trump has.
I agree.
From the beginning.
Yeah.
But,
and then the ultimate slap in the face was when he carried Michigan, and which Romney never could. Romney never even thought about carrying Michigan when he was running.
Let me ask you, what did the King of England say about George Washington when he walked away from power after 2 terms?
What did he say? Tell me.
He said if he does that, he's the greatest man in history. Now, Trump is not the greatest man in history, but it shows he's being really magnanimous. He's really approaching this presidency from a different perspective. If he thinks Romney can do a job better than anyone else, he's going to set any personal feelings aside, and he's going to appoint him to that position. I think he's going to be very interesting as our president for the next 4 years. And if he can do that, if he recognizes talent and puts him in the top spot, I really think we have nothing to worry about with his cabinet or his advisors on the Middle East policy. If we have boots on the ground in Iraq, it'll be the right decision.
I don't want to see, well, we do have boots on the ground in Iraq already, but I don't want to see any more than we already have. Thanks for the call. I'm Howie Carr.